Today it's a very special live because we're going live consistently. It's been a week. Always on this time, and that's, I believe, what really makes it so successful is that it always comes at the same time. And similarly to language learning, if you really want to take it to the next level, you always want to consistently learn, study it, be with the language, and soon you will find out that how easily you can just make sense of it in so little time. And so in today's episode, we're gonna talk about another special country, the second or the first ever African country I've ever been to, which is South Africa. And together inside we're gonna discover 3 lessons of languages and cultures I've discovered and I wanna pass on together. It is Cultures Unpacked, and I'm very grateful to share this knowledge with you. Only today I will have interview, so I'm excited to share more and more and get more connected. So in today's episode of Cultures Unpacked, we're gonna talk about South Africa. South Africa is on the same time zone as Central Europe, but you need around 12 hours to get there. 12 hours to get there. You can go over Turkey or Dubai and then go to South Africa. And the first thing that was like mind blowing to me when we first arrived was our first car ride back. You would see the whole scenery, you would see how South Africa is, and it turned out to be like way more civilized as you think. And back then I was like around 16, 17 years of age, and so back then I was thinking, we will see like lots of just people with dark skin, and we would see we would see like on occupied land more. But in reality, in South Africa where we arrived, it was like very, very, very like normally civilized, and then there was like approximately like half of the population was white and half of the population was dark skinned. And seeing like that there are so many people looking like me, even though I was in Africa, was a little strange for me, because I wouldn't see them normally, or I wouldn't have seen those as like being part of Africans. They were just as fair as me, and their hair was just as light as mine, and their eyes were just my color. So I was seeing this, and they are having like a little bit of I would say like a Dutch sounding accent when they speak, and it was a very funny accent, and even like they had a very strong accent. That was what really like stood out to me most. And so I want to go over lesson 1, is that even though it was like a whole African country, like you would see many in your speech and also in the way that people communicate, especially the fair people, you would see many similarities to Europeans. And that's why I believe that going to South Africa is one of probably one of the choices that you could take to go abroad. And like even in South Africa, they speak native like English, and so you will feel very safe there, I would say. Even though going out to the streets is maybe unsafe, very unsafe, but within the city, and if you are looking for a new height, then this could be it. And so the lesson number 1 is, being there as a European in South Africa, and you feel very many similarities. And even though it is different, and you gotta watch out for a couple of things that we're gonna talk about in this episode, but South Africa is a special place for Europeans to go. And now I want to continue with lesson number 2, which is that one evening we were exiting the main hall, and everything was starting to close up. So it was getting around 7 p.m., 8 p.m., and it was raining outside. And it was 3 girls, me, my doubles partner, and my coach back then. We were all 3 under 25 young woman under 35. And so this man that closed the hall, he just wouldn't let us go, right? He would leave us inside of the he would just have his car parked next to us while we were waiting for Uber. He wouldn't let us wait outside, but he would let us wait inside. And we didn't really ask why, or we would ask why he doesn't need to wait for us. No, he just said no, he would never let any woman be alone here, especially evening time, because people could just pull up in their cars and just take you with them, or they could do bad things to you at this time or in this place. And so this was a concern that has never touched me before, that I needed to watch out before I went even to the city center alone or with other women. And so this was a little bit concerning to know that, okay, we gotta kind of watch out what we're doing and what our decisions are for this trip, because everything can change within a decision, right? And that was the second lesson, is that not everywhere is it's not like everywhere is like home. It's not everywhere the same rules as you know, and sometimes you do need to see what's around you, and you need to oblige by the rules. And excuse me, right? And so I want to go on with the wrap around lesson 2, which is maybe discover with locals together what is the safest way for you around here. And if you feel that you feel safe around here, then great, you can go out. But if it's a place like Pretoria in South Africa, where people all over the world would tell you, hey, you gotta watch out for this place, then maybe believe it and go with it. And then I want to go on to the last lesson number 3. And this was the first time when I got insight into outside shopping malls, how they have it in the US, so that you park your car somewhere outside in a garage, and then you sit there and you can shop or you can eat. And we went there, right, one day, and the owner, she brought us with her, so we went there together. And there was this lady of dark skin that served us, and it seemed like everything was fine, just that the lady that was the owner of our Airbnb was sometimes making some weird remarks on the waitress. It would be some racist remarks, and all over throughout South Africa, I've seen some. No, I've just noticed that there's a little bit of racism going on, right? So as we went also to a shopping mall inside, and there's a little bit of racist going on. They would say this is the safest shopping mall around because there's the least black people, and it was kind of a little bit uncomfortable to be inside of those talks. And even in the restaurant when we were in the outside mall, once we were done eating, the lady would pay with many banknotes and coins. And so this waitress lady she needed to count all of the money, right, off the cash that the customer was giving her. But when she would someone made a mistake in counting, and then turns out that there was a mistake in the counting, and then there would be remarks made I should have thought that you weren't able to count, or she would make racist remarks about this other lady, that she wouldn't be able to count, or based that she wouldn't have any education and stuff. And it was my partner and I was just looking at each other weirdly over the table, because those types of remarks we know that you cannot make it a person. This is not the way to go. And this was lesson 3, kind of racism is still happening, and even though people may live together in that country, doesn't mean that people like each other in that country. And that's a big part of also USA is built on racism, but the people there, most of them are racist, depending on against the black person or against the white person. Excuse me. And so this was my lesson 3. And before I wrap up this Cultures Unpacked today about South Africa, I want to share I want to invite you to watch the next video because it's really gonna help. If you like my content, it's all about cultures unpacked. It's all about talking about multiple languages, and it's all about helping you become multilingual and become polyglot. And I want to invite you to watch the next video. To if you like this video so far, to like, to subscribe, and to watch the next video that just pops up on the screen. Yeah, you can sit it down and you can listen to it on your headphones. Just go on with your day. Hope you enjoy, and I'll see you the next time.